Hello everybody, it's Rebecca Gabriel here. I do hope that you are having a good week. This is, where are we now? The 3rd of September. We've just entered spring here in the Southern Hemisphere and fall in the Northern Hemisphere, and there's sort of this wonderful fresh feeling in the air of change, new beginnings, transformation. So I do hope that things are going well for you, and I'm ready to do a card reading for you for the next 2 weeks of September, and so I thought we'd just get started. Please remember that it is a general reading, and so it's not for everybody, and you need to just make the decision whether or not it resonates for you and for your circumstances. And of course, I'm available to do private readings, and so you're very welcome to contact me, private message me. My details are down below and on my website, livingwithspice.com. All right, let's get started. Thank you, Spirit, for your guidance and for your love. And we ask you, what's ahead for us this week or two coming? These cards are going to fly out today. Okay, so it would seem we've got first up the Nine of Wands. So you're taking quite a defensive stand here. There's very strong communication coming in, but you're feeling like you've been through the wars recently. Things have been quite challenging for you, and you're tired, feeling a little bit like you've just been in a battle. So you're carrying a few war wounds here, mentally, emotionally, and possibly physically. I'm not sure how your health has been, but it's been a little bit of a tough ride for you. So Spirit's acknowledging that it has been tough, but look, you're still standing, you're at the ready, and all is not lost. But I dare say that perhaps you are feeling like you need to rest. You're still on guard here. You've been through the rigour, and it's been a tough one for you. The next card is the Three of Pentacles here. So you've had a chance to sort of sit back and have a think about where you're at. So this is like sort of coming into a time of reflection after this difficult run here, and you're now sort of counting your coins, counting your pennies, taking some time out to recognise what you do have in your life, what you've achieved, and you're taking stock of what is. So where are you at in your life right now? You've been through an enormous amount of change, and perhaps some things have occurred that you weren't expecting that felt quite challenging for you. And so, certainly on a personal level, you felt like you've gone through the ringer, and as a result, you're sort of licking your wounds a little bit, taking some time out to reflect on what is for you and where you're at. The next is the Lord, which is the equivalent of the Emperor. So it kind of feels like that at some point after you've had time to sort of reflect on what's happened, you've kind of reached that point of that you've had enough, and perhaps you've been on the battleground or in the battleground for a while now, and you're asking yourself, well, really, how much more do I want to take? What's my return on investment here? What am I left with at the end of the day? And so you're having a little bit of a stern talk to yourself and evaluating more now from an objective point of view of the lay of the land for yourself and where you're going. and what's important to you. So it's now a case of stepping out of your emotions, stepping away from the war wounds and the disappointments, and sort of reevaluating your situation. And it's causing you to step into your, what I would call your yang energy, your strength, your inner strength. You know, it's when you sort of, rather than feeling defeated, which is a little bit how you have initially felt here, you're now sort of stepping into your inner strength and going, well, you know what, I've had enough. And you're reevaluating things to assess what's important for you going forward. So that's actually a positive outcome from a difficult circumstance for you. So it's about standing up for yourself, standing your ground. And this is important for you more than anybody else, of course, in gaining some clarity and recognising your value, what your strengths are, and coming to a place of certainty, because you realise that, you know, there's no sense wasting your energy in areas that are not giving you anything in return. So it's an important time for you to reevaluate things and to sort of feel certain and confident about what's your lot, and starting to sort of put down objectively plans for going forward. And you're taking some time to do that wisely and tapping into your higher self, your wisdom, and taking a no-nonsense approach about how you're going to go forward. So there's no rush energy here. It's quite methodical, discerning, thoughtful, and quite purposeful. The next card is the Princess of Cups. Now this is like the masculine energy, which we all have, and then we have the feminine energy of the Princess of Cups. And you'll notice here that she also is very calm and quite reflective, restrained, and in a place of really coming to understand herself and her value. So this represents the feminine energy. And it's about coming to a place of loving herself and really appreciating who she is, and acknowledging that it's an important time for her to self-nurture and to self-love. So the cup represents her emotions, her feelings, the self-love and self-care. And she's standing in nature very calmly and drawing from the beautiful energy that's around her, and using that energy as inspiration to recharge herself and to rejuvenate, and to really appreciate all of the wonderful qualities that she has. She's also stepping into her feminine power. So we have a lovely, beautiful balance here of both the masculine and feminine. And I'm going to suggest that this is you. This is you coming to a place of balance within yourself, the inner strength of having the courage to step up and stand up for yourself, and then the feminine energy of coming within to nurture and self-care and appreciate all of the beautiful aspects of yourself. What a lovely way to start. So having come from a rather difficult, wounded place of being in the battleground, you know, somewhat of being the victim of real tragedy here. It's really quite a tough paddle here. But you're taking stock of things. So good on you. That's really good. So let's see what's ahead for us. I always forget the names of these cards. I'm sorry. And thank you, Spirit, to give us a few cards to help us with the way forward. That was a few too many there. Oh, just wants to come out. And that one. Okay, what do we have then? We have solitude, spark, a few more than I thought here. Coming apart, encouragement and intention. So we're in this time of taking stock of what's going on for you. There's a period of solitude where you're going within to recover, rejuvenate, rethink things. It's a period of quiet. You know, part of that is you feeling a little bit sorry, a little bit worn out by the battle, but also a very necessary time to rejuvenate. Just a need to feel a little bit of quiet. We've got the moon, we've got the water here, which helps us to understand this is a period of inner reflection. Looking for the light, looking for some inspiration, looking for some guidance. So in order to do that, you go within because you want to hear and sense what is right for you. You want to hear from your higher self and tap into what you know to be true to you. But in order to do that, you recognise that you need some quiet time, and it's really wanting to shut out the noise and the drama of what has been in your life and just have some quiet time to reflect. The next card is Spark. I'm not sure if I got this in the right order, but at some point going forward, you're starting to recognise and feel the love within. And this is starting to help you to feel a little bit more rejuvenated. So the more time that you spend nurturing yourself, going within, appreciating who you are, you're starting to tap into that creative self, the love that you have been looking for. And so ideas and your creativity and a sense of upliftment is coming. And I have to say, I often feel that when we enter springtime as well, is that a little bit of renewed sense of new life and upliftment. So certainly this card is representing that. We've got this beautiful woman here who is playing a violin, and she's in nature, and we've got butterflies here, and she's really feeling all of her emotions and wanting to express it through her music. And this is helping her to heal, to reconnect with her heart, to reconnect with what is important to her. So it's a very similar energy to the Princess of Cups here. And that's a beautiful, important period of time as part of your healing and part of gaining some clarity around what's important for you and reconnecting with self-love and your heart space. We've got the card Intention here. So what I'm getting from this is that as you're thinking about the next steps going forward, the owl here represents the importance of seeing what's really there to gain clarity. And we do that by tapping into our higher self to understand the wisdom of what we're being shown here. What do we need to know? What do we need to learn in this current situation? We've been given some time to pause and reflect on what has been. And now is a beautiful time to ask ourselves, what do we need to know in this situation? And that's going to help us to gain some clarity. And it's not about why me, why did this happen, or labouring over the battle, but more about what are some perspectives that you haven't seen. It really is asking the universe, asking God or your angels, what do I need to see more clearly? And then it's about creating a new pathway forward and articulating what it is that you want going forward and what is important to you. So that's what we mean by intention, is coming to a place of being able to say, I feel this, I'm experiencing this, I want to move more towards this in my life. So we focus our intentions and our energy going forward rather than where we have been in the past. So that you need to let go of, because you do need to heal and move on. So when we wanting to go forward in a more positive and healthy way, we need clarity, we need to articulate and communicate that to ourselves. So if it helps, you may want to discuss it with a friend, you may want to journal your ideas down, and when you get a spark of inspiration, take a note of that, write it down, feel what you need to feel, and understand, spend time with yourself to understand more about who you are and where you want to go. This is a time of fresh beginnings, and this egg does point to new beginnings, new birth. And it's allowing ourselves to be in a magical space of imagining, talking about what we desire for the future. What do you want? What do you wish for? And start to language that, because until we can actually language it, we can't imagine or envisage it or move towards it. So that's really important. Part of what you have been going through is releasing things from the past, things that are no longer serving you. This has done its job on you. And I'm sure, my friend, that you don't want that anymore. And it's time to let that go. You are well and truly worn out, busted up, and this has to stop. And so you've come to a place of recognizing it's time to self-nurture. And my friend, we need to start being logical about this. We need to start being practical and objective in order to go forward. And so this card here is a recognition that it's time to pull away from the energies that have been holding you back and that are not serving you well. Perhaps there's been some toxic relationships or a job that's not been where you want to be. Perhaps there's been drama in your life, friends, family, situations. Whatever it is, it's time to move away from that energy now and to language what it is that you do want. Do yourself a favour and begin afresh. Take care of you. Make choices that benefit you, not everybody else, because it's dragging you down. It's time to step away from that battlefield. And don't worry, you're going to have the encouragement and the guidance that you need. It'll be amazing. It'll be beautiful when you suddenly realise right at the right moment things are going to come to you to help you. It's certainly happened to me in the last week for me. The last reading that I did, it was all about very swift energy and things happening very quickly. Well, I can vouch for that. It certainly did in my life and several other people that I know. So I can tell you that when we need that encouragement, it will be there. You are not alone on the journey. So take heart. Let's pull some more cards to see what else Spirit can give us for this beautiful reading. My friends, it's really time to take care of you and make decisions that are going to support you. It's been a long, hard road for you and the battle's over, and it's really time now to take both a practical approach as well as a self-care and self-love approach. Give yourself the time so that you can get back into that heart space and to feel inspired again, and really make an effort to articulate what it is that's important for you. This period of inner reflection. Oops, I've got a few too many there. and solitude is kind of nature's way of being able to give us time to heal and rejuvenate and get our energy back, and to understand where our focus needs to be going forward. Alright, we just need one more card. I feel like I just keep missing that one card there that's meant to come out. Let's go with that one. Okay. Okay, we have... Sorry, I've got a plane going over, it's quite noisy. So, we have the promise of new beginnings here. Now, however it fits for your circumstances, it's going to be different for everybody, but you have a new focus coming to the fore, and it may be the rejuvenation of a friendship, relationship. It may be the promise of new start, new phase with regards to projects you've been working on, or a new job. Whatever it is that has been in your heart that you have been working on and labouring over for quite some time, this card represents that your wishes are going to come true and that they're unfolding now. So you're entering a new phase represented by the new moon, where all of these things are going to come to fruition for you. It's that real sense of finally. So we've got, let me see, I'm not sure if that's a sunrise or a sunset, maybe it doesn't matter, but certainly the horizon is letting us know that things are coming. The new moon, new phase, the promise of new beginnings. Certainly you have had a recent lightning bolt moment. It's a bit of a shocker, isn't it? When we get these moments, they come unexpectedly, and it can really zap us, really knock us about a little bit. Now, this may have happened already for you, or it sort of may be coming up for you. It may be sort of part of this energy here where you feel like you've been in the battleground. And I think what we can take from this is that there's a lot of emotions that you're feeling at the moment with the changes that have been happening in your life, and it has taken its toll on you. It has been a massive surge of release. Perhaps there's been a situation that has come to a climax. Perhaps there's been some arguments, some disagreements, and it's had quite an impact on you. So it has stirred up a lot of emotions in you, perhaps taken a lot of energy out of you. But I just know whenever we have a storm or something that happens that's quite impactful, it's over quickly, you know. And I feel that I get the sense this has happened, and that it's been a bit of a shock. It's been quite, well, electrifying, full on, intense. Let's just say intense. Like, that's really intense energy there. And so as you're coming out of this phase, I really would like to reorganise the flow of these things. You're coming into a new space, as the other cards have suggested, of emergence. We have the dragonfly. New life, new beginnings. And this time there's a real connection with your spiritual wisdom and your spiritual self. You have gone through the wash, through the rigours, so much. It's wiped you out. And now what's left is this sense of clearing the slate, and starting completely afresh. It's a little bit like when we get a cyclone or a flood that comes in. It just clears the path completely, and then you start again. The dragonfly is magical. It's definitely beautiful spring energy, newness, new life, but it's thriving. This new phase is thriving for you. It's going to bring way more abundance than you realize. Beautiful. So as you're going through this turbulent time and moving on from that, Spirit's encouraging you to just take a breath. No need to be off in a rush anywhere, making huge decisions or taking big action. You know, as we know, it's a time to just have a little quiet time to reconnect and look after yourself. Take a breather, step out into nature, allow yourself time to reconnect with yourself and to heal, to nourish yourself so that you can get some clarity and feel the spark of new life and regeneration. And you'll have clarity, and then you will have encouragement for the journey forward. So you're going to be leaving behind this really full-on intense energy, things that are no longer serving you. We're done. I'm so sorry that it's been such a tumultuous time, but what's done is done. And now you can feel free to let that go and start new. There is a promise of a new beginning for you. So take heart. You're being encouraged. You're being loved. Spirit's loving you and will send that encouragement that you need for a fresh start, new growth, new beginnings. I'm just going to use one more deck. Spirit messages from John Holland. Thank you, Spirit, for your love and guidance. What do we need to know? Oops, take those two. There we go. We have self-love. Now is the time to love, nurture and heal yourself. Self-love is not simply a state of mind about feeling good. It's a state of appreciation for yourself that grows and matures from actions you take to support your body, mind and soul. It's definitely what's needed right now, my friends. So take time to really take care of yourself. You deserve it. You deserve to love and nurture yourself and to value yourself, so that you can embrace this new beginning, a new time in your life, a fresh start that only ever happens when we've had a major clear out. We have dream talk. Your subconscious constantly and subtly speaks through your dreams. It's just one of the many ways in which your soul and those here in the spirit world can reach out and communicate with you through signs, symbols, messages and more. So maybe at the moment you're quite active in your thoughts, I'm sure you are, and in your dreams. So if you're having very visual dreams or dreams that are really causing you to feel very clear and strong feelings, take a note of it. If you happen to wake up, write down what it was, and quite often it won't necessarily be literal, but what you're feeling and the visual images of your dream will represent something that you need to know. It is your subconscious, but our spirit guides, angels, soul family are able to speak to us in our dream because there's no resistance. We're open. We're not actively trying to resist thoughts or ideas or messages that come through. So we're in a more open state to receive guidance and messages. So take note of what you're dreaming about, what you're thinking and feeling, and maybe make a bit of a note on the side if you happen to stir in your sleep. Oh, I've got a few here. We've got support. People come into your life for many different reasons. Some you learn from and then they move on, while others return, often because you need to learn more from those individuals. Others remain beside you throughout your entire life. So be conscious of the fact that you do have support around you. There will be people that come and go at the right time, giving you the encouragement and support. And this is beautiful. So again, we're never alone on the journey, but acknowledging that not everybody in our life is there for the long term. Some people are here for a short term, medium term, and others stay with us for longer. And it really does depend on the kind of assistance we need, the soul lessons that we're learning, and of course, the influence and impact we have on other people as well. So recognise that there is support around you in many ways. So we've got the support through your spirit guides, through your dreams, and then the support of those people who turn up in your world, in your life. We have the card Receive. You are a kind and loving soul who constantly reaches out and gives to others. But now it's time for you to learn how to graciously receive. Just as with the ebb and flow of the tides, the art of giving and receiving is the natural law and order of the universe. My friend, I know that you are always giving, and perhaps now it's time for you to take stock of where you're at and what you need in your life. This Three of Pentacles is about you understanding what you have and what you need. And so coming into this space of self-nurturing, as in the Princess of Cups, it's about now recognising the importance of you knowing how to receive. So when that encouragement and support comes into your life and is offered to you, please, my friends, say yes and accept. You know, for us to give love to people, it's just as important to receive that love. Not just from ourselves, but from others. So embrace the support that comes to you. We then have a card called Relationships. Relationships meaning the people that we encounter and relate to in our life on a regular basis. They are just mirror images of our own life. How you feel and treat yourself, as well as how you react and respond to different situations and people around you. Be aware that every relationship is an opportunity for soul growth. So there'll be some relationships in our life that we find quite challenging and testing. In those circumstances, we can ask ourselves, what is it that we need to learn about ourselves? Whatever we are seeing in that person or in that challenging situation, can't talk today, there's something there, a message there, an opportunity for us to grow in awareness of how we're looking at a situation and responding to it. How do we habitually respond to a challenging situation or person in our life? What do we need to be aware of? How can we grow in love and understanding? Do we need to be able to put ourselves in someone else's shoes and see something from their perspective rather than coming from a place of judgment? The good relationships in our life, they also mirror the wonderful things that we have achieved and what we're strong in. So that's also important for you to acknowledge. So whatever it is that turns up in our life is usually a reflection of what is going on for ourselves. I'm sorry the lighting's not so great today. It's usually a reflection of what is going on in ourselves, what we need to learn. So what a great opportunity. And I guess all of this is coming to your awareness at the moment because you've gone through such a lot of intense change. Whenever we have deep transformation in our life and we're kind of knocked off our perch somewhat, it does cause us to be in a period of time of inner reflection. And that's not such a bad thing, because in order for us to create a better path going forward, more enjoyable life and new phase of our life, it's important we take the time to understand where we're at and what things do we need to be aware of that perhaps have been blocking our happiness and blocking our success. So this period of reflection and slowing down and being in our own space for a little while is an important time, an important opportunity to reflect on how we're thinking about things, what in us needs to change. It's going to be there for us. Spirit is speaking with us clearly in our dreams, in the relationships that turn up in our life. They are ways to help us understand ourselves better and how to grow, to move forward in a healthier way, in a happier way. This does feel intense, but it's not meant to cause you any pain. So rather than step into why me and the victim energy and feeling sorry for ourselves, use that energy of change and transformation as an opportunity to love yourself, to really appreciate who you are, because when you approach yourself with love, you're going to be a better student of yourself. You're going to have a better understanding of how to create a better future going forward and how to get clarity around what it is that you want. You know, spending the time to think about how you want things to be, how you want to feel, what's important for you. So if it means that you've got to take time to be quiet and take a bit of time to draw breath and be in nature, then do that. It will help you. And be quick to say thank you to the support that comes your way. Learn to receive when that encouragement and that love and support comes your way. Embrace it. Spirit is there to help you, not challenge you in a negative way. I grant that this is a big time of big transformation for you, my friend. But treat yourself with kindness. Let go of things that are not good for you. And really, don't do it with sadness, although there may be some sadness in there for you initially. You are going to pull through. You are. You're going to find that inner courage to step forward and say, hey, enough. I really do love myself. I'm worth something. You're worth a hell of a lot. And beautiful new life is going to come for you. The promise of new life is there for you. And you're going to start to feel a spark within. You know, your spirit, your soul is going to start to feel invigorated when you allow yourself to feel love and appreciation for you. It's a far better place to be than to feel hate, resentment, bitterness for the battle that you've been through. Don't take that with you. Let all of that go. And as you do, my friend, you are going to create more peace in your life and a sense of well-being and calmness. And I'm sure that's what everybody is wanting to have. So that's the end of the reading for this week or two. I'm thinking of you. I'm sending you my love. And just a quick reminder for those who haven't seen it before. I have my new book here, The Power of Soul Loving. I'm sure you've probably heard about it. So for any of you who are going through that massive transformation in your life, look, I know we don't get a guidebook for how to deal with life and all of its challenges. But in this book, I've done my very best to channel spiritual messages and some guidance so that you can understand how to move through those challenging times in life. And if you would like a copy, it's available in paperback as well as an ebook. You can get it from my website, livingwithspice.com, or you can purchase it online and most online bookstores, including amazon.com and .com.au and Balboa Press. So my friends, lots of love. I wish you all the very best. Take care and please love and nurture who you are. God bless. Bye-bye.